Well, good morning, good morning. We are gathering for coffee with Casper. We're up on Facebook. That means we're up on YouTube. That means we're all here. There's the Casper. YouTube is now live. Facebook is now live. Casper's right here. We're going to gong ourselves in about 2 minutes. Will you let us know where you're at? Checking in. Good morning from Santa Rosa. Good morning from Boise. Hey, Dave, I think, is it your birthday or some anniversary or something sweet for you guys, huh? You and Loretta. All right, nice to see you guys this morning. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Candace from Palm Desert. All righty, got some nice weather out there now. Still, as you can see, a little June gloom around here, a little morning, low clouds and fog. Good morning, good morning. We're glad you're here. It's almost 8:30. We're going to gong ourselves in and spend 20 minutes together. We are glad you are here. We're glad you're checking in. Casper came over to say hi. He's going to a flea bath later today. Got to get the season ready here. Gonna get it brushed out. So next week is the 18th. So we're gonna go again live next week, and then we're gonna take a week or so off as we go down to celebrate my journey around the sun on planet Earth. Okay, we're glad you're here. And there it is. There's 8:30. Let's gong ourselves in. We're going to take a couple of big, deep breaths. Become aware of ourselves as being centered. And away we go. Here we go. Big, deep breath in. Just allowing the sound of the gong to remind us that we are all emanating a vibration. That vibration is acting upon the law of the circle and returning to us as our experience. Here we go. Another big deep breath in. Bring the energy up to your heart center. Relaxing the shoulders and just becoming present. It is Dave's birthday. There you go. The Idahoans are having a birthday celebration today. Happy birthday. Hey, aloha Ann from Honolulu zone. We're glad you're here out in the island. Very good. All right, so if you saw the poster, thank you, Candace, for getting that out. I was a little slow finding out exactly where I wanted to go today. And so the poster ended up saying, show me the magic. Show me the magic. So we're in this, reading the newspapers and catching the talking heads on television, everybody says in these extraordinary times. Well, we're going through an extraordinary change. The change is moving away from separation consciousness, which causes and has for eons of time caused the ego, the small self, to be running everything, because everything's a competition, everything's us against them, everything is good against bad, and all of that is duality and polarity and not really the way the cosmos works. So we are, all of us, particularly those here gathered on Coffee with Casper, we're all rising up the upward forward spiral of evolution. We're rising up, and remember we talked about last week, the life of man is a self-evolving circle, Ralph Waldo Emerson said. From that starting point, continuing imperceptibly small, continuing to rise up, rise up, rise up. But when we rise up, it's not like we're rising up separate from everything, we're rising up in unity with everything. So we are all about becoming, in this lifetime, allowing ourselves to open up to a higher order of being, allowing ourselves to open up to be an instrument of light and to be a body, a physical body, spirit, soul, and body that can handle a much higher vibration. So in many of the years in which I did Sunday ministry, we would gather, and one of the first things I would say as I addressed everybody in the morning was, "Good morning from Scotland today." Wow, that's cool, Missy Grant. Welcome. One of the things I would say as I came out to greet everybody was, did you know there's a power for good in the universe and you can use it? Of course, that line comes from Dr. Ernest Holmes, the author of the book, The Science of Mind, and the founder of what was the Church of Religious Science, now the organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. So the idea is that there's a power for good in the universe and you can use it. Now, what about if good and more good is mine, and we love that affirmation, we know that that affirmation is necessary, again going back to Meister Eckhart from the 12th century, the 13th century, born in the 1200s, that the soul has two faces. One is gazing at the glory of God, and the other is directing the senses. The psalmist, way back when, thousands of years ago, said that which is directing the senses, which is your I am presence, which is your soul nature, is the still small voice. And obviously, if the key aspect of our soul, which is at one with the one, right? The key aspect of our soul is it's gazing at the glory of God. And then Emerson said to us, as we shared last week, he says, and how far the force of that circle will go depends on the truth of the individual soul, force or truth of the individual soul. So imagine when we begin to inquire up into our own I am nature. I am one with the one, as you are one with the one, and everybody is one with the one. The difference is how conscious of it are we, and how strong is the force of our soul. Well, everybody's soul has the power, the same power. Everybody's soul can grasp the magnificence, but it's gazing at the glory. But so the question becomes, from your personal self, how deeply are you asking, show me what you see, show me what you are gazing at, what is it that you are aware of? And when we begin to do that, we can easily, even in our physical body, we can become more in tune. What do you hear right now? What do you feel right now? As soon as I shift that awareness, I'm aware of the very subtle breeze. I'm aware of the birds singing. I'm aware of what I call God bumps. I'm aware of myself in tuning myself to the infinite, right? And that's a conscious choice. We have to be able to ask, seek, and knock to be the soul that is saying, I want to see it. I want to see it. As the dedication of the original book, which was the basis through which Ernest Holmes and the Church of Religious Science and the teaching of the Science of Mind, which is part of the larger teaching of the New Thought movement, which of course would include the Fillmores and the Dressers and Thoreau and Emerson. It goes way, way back. And not Meister Eckhart, Judge Thomas Troward. I mean, there are so many people who were knocking on the door, and the dedication in the textbook says, enabling me to see through the mist into the eternal and changeless reality. So how deeply do you want to see through the mist? And then the question is, how conscious of you are you of asking the self, the I am that I am, to show me the magic? Show me the magic. If good and more good is mine, then the power for good in the universe and my capacity to use the power for good in the universe, not just for me, for all. The power for good belongs to all. And I can draw on it and use it for all, right? And this is where the power of healing comes from. This is where our be able to be the calm in the midst of the storm comes from. This is where our a capacity to change the vibration of the environment we're in to more in tune itself with the internet, because we're using the power for good, not just for ourselves, but for everybody who is touching the arena of our world. Good and more good is mine. Since you and I are touching each other's arena, good and more good is yours. Good and more good is coming from you and emanating out to those who are touching you in your circles. And circle upon circle, wheel upon wheel, because of the force of our soul, but not because we're giving the soul force, but because we're asking and seeking and knocking and drawing on our own soul, which is at one with the one, which is at one with the saints, sage, masters, and mystics, which is at one with everybody who knows they are one with Source, they are one with the masculine, feminine, the Father, Mother, the Creator, the source of all life. I belong to it. It is given to me in principle, but how much of it has depends on how personal it becomes to me. Is there a power for good in the universe? Yes, and I can use it because I am that power. I am at one with that power. I came in the light, as the light, with the light, for the light, and I've become conscious that that's what I came for, and now I'm bringing more and more of that light, more and more of that vibration into the world. Now, it begins with thought. So we hear the classic line, thoughts are things, right? Well, as we know, it's not really done unto you as you think. It's done unto you as you believe, as you actually believe. That means the combination of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Now, if your subconscious mind picked up erroneous beliefs, believing that you are less than the one, believing that you are less than spiritual magnificence, believing that somehow your personal psychology has stood in the way of your personal growth. Casper, please don't dig in the property, right? It has stood in the way. It's not standing in the way. Nothing's standing in the way. You're the instrument and the avenue through which you can draw on this greater power. Show me the magic. Show me grace and peace and poise and providence and wonder. I mean, in silliest kind of ways. Yesterday I went shopping for the fam and for my wife and I, and I got a few things, and usually I sort of look at the monitor as they're checking me out, and I don't always take a piece of paper. Well, as I was just getting ready to finish my order, I looked at some of these chips that I had purchased, and they were all squished. So the man, the cashier, said, "Would you like your receipt?" So I said, "Yeah, because I'm going to go switch this bag of squished chips for a bag of chips that's not so squished," right? Something simple like that, but he gave me the receipt. Well, later when I got home and put all the groceries away, I saw there was a $30 error on the receipts, something that I didn't buy. So just because I looked at the chips and decided to change them, the universe was making sure. Some little angel said, well, you don't probably want to waste that $30, so I'll give you the receipt so you can see that you goofed, right? Or somebody goofed. And so, once I put it away, I made a phone call. I said, "Do I need to come down and fix it now?" It's, "Oh, no, we'll fix it for you next time we come down. We're terribly sorry," right? I mean, this is good and more good. It was my good. It was everybody's good. Nobody has to be upset at anybody. You make a mistake, Ernest Holmes says, you make a mistake and you pay for it. That's what the word sin is. I missed the mark. You make a mistake and you pay for it. If you wake up to the mistake, you settle it, and the payment is much less, right? This is the magic of the good and more good working in, as, and through you and around you, and affecting all of the people who you touch in your life. So where you are putting your attention, The only thing you cannot have, as Dr. Daniel Morgan said, the only thing you cannot have is that which you cannot embody. Can you embody that when you are using your affirmations, when you are using your positive spiritual mind treatment, your positive affirmative prayer, when you are knowing a greater good is coming for yourself, that you are not doing that selfishly? You are doing it for everyone. The more you intune yourself with the infinite, the more you call upon the law of harmony, the more you seek that greater good in your world, the more you can create that greater good for everybody. Just because the world is, some are still believing in their separateness and their ego, and therefore the laws of the ego, which means us against them, somebody did me wrong song, all of those lower levels of vibration that keep us trapped can be shifted when I know I am one with the one, and that I am one with the one of all souls. When I do my affirmations and spiritual mind treatment to speak on Coffee with Casper in my meditations, what I'm always knowing is that the I am that I am is at one with the I am that you are, and therefore through me, that greater reality of myself, the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha of me, is speaking to the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha, the awakening soul of you. And we are finding a way to vibrate together, to connect, and bring forth a higher vibration. And that's the only reason we gather on Coffee with Casper. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. This is Coffee with Casper. We are a gathering of light workers. This is Casper. We are a gathering of light workers who simply are gathering to support one another, to help each other raise our own vibration, so that circle upon circle, wheel upon wheel, generation upon generation, we are doing our part to usher in an awakening world. And at the same time, we are willing to realize I do not have to participate at the lowest levels of humanity. I can participate at a much higher level, and therefore be an instrument, an avenue through which that higher order of being is being drawn in the world. And I have a right to ask the universe to show me the magic, to show me the miracle of grace, to show me how the divine in me, as me, and through me can work through me harmoniously, so that in my normal, everyday living, I am making a contribution to an awakening world. Because I am knocking and seeking and asking that I wake up, and that my waking up, my seeing through the mist, and drawing forth the magic of transcendent unconditional love into my life is not an act of selfishness, because there's a power for good in the universe, and I can use it. I can use it for the good of my family, for the good of my friends, for the good of my household, for the good of my personal circle, for the good of all the lives I touch in any way, shape, or form. Show me the magic. Let us bring in a greater good. Let us reveal a deeper harmony. Let us participate in a more joyful joy. Let us be the avenue and the place where the light of the awakened one, the light of the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha, the enlightened one, is moving in me and as me and through me, even as I allow the layers of my misperceptions and false beliefs to fall away. The transcendent force of the I Am consciousness healing, uplifting, cleansing, and moving me into a greater degree of livingness. More and more life is mine. And the more I can bring forth that blissful life, the more I can tolerate that bliss and make room for it in my life, the greater good I am bringing, and the greater good comes to me automatically, because that which I am creating, the energy which I am creating through my daily habits and attitudes and thoughts and feelings, and now beginning to use those thoughts and feelings to know that I can consciously change, transform, transmute the false beliefs I may have collected along the way, which may have limited my good, that I can change it and I can bring forth more good, more life, more love, more truth, more peace, more poise, more power, more balance than I've ever known before. This is the day. Today is the day the Lord has made, and I am rejoiced and glad in it. You are a light worker. All we ask, if you enjoy Coffee with Casper, if these few minutes we spend together are beneficial to you, share it. Share it on Facebook. Go to YouTube. Follow it. Link in. Send people directly. Go to YouTube. You can email it to anybody on your list. Here, take a look at this. Spend a few minutes with this. Listen in if you want. Just invite people. And more, just because we're connected, because we belong together, because we're vibrationally in the same house, we can make room in our house for all. We have set a place for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Eat of the fruit, drink the wine, and live your life. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. This is Coffee with Casper. Who you are is something magnificent. We'll be back next week, and we invite you to join us then and share your light, share your dialogue, share in this conversation, and let's together bring more and more good into the world. Show me the magic. So until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Oh yes, it's perfectly okay to ask that which is the I am that I am to show me the magic. Thanks for sharing your magic with me. We'll be back next week, and we'll see you then. Bye for now. You want to come up and say goodbye, Casper? Last chance. There you go. Come on. Here you go. There you go. Oh, all the way in. There you go. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.